The best wings in the world aren't buffalo or barbecue or Korean or lemon pepper or even teriyaki. They're not even fried or coated in sauce or seasonings. They're the ones you pluck off a roast chicken 5 minutes after it comes out of the oven. Think about it. That salty, crispy, glazy skin and incredible juiciness. Hands down, they're the chickeniest part of the chicken and my favorite wing of all time. Now, if you're like me, you've daydreamed about breeding a chicken that has 20 wings so that you can eat as many as you wanted. So that's exactly what we did. Okay, so it's not exactly what we did, but we did come up with a recipe that delivers a platter of those wings, which in my mind is just as impressive. But before we go there, we're gonna need some snacks. The chicken wing conundrum is exactly like cereal. Stick with me. Who hasn't picked out all of the best parts in a box and just left the rest? Oh, you haven't? Yeah, me neither, I haven't done that. But here's the thing. You can now just buy the marshmallows as a separate bag. If you're not a fan of cereal, then what about cookies? We all know the cream is the best part, but we can do the exact same thing with chicken wings. We roast a bunch of wings and skip the rest of the bird entirely. I'm gonna walk you through this incredible recipe, but don't worry about taking notes. You can grab this recipe in the ATK app or at the link below this video. Let's go to the kitchen. There are 3 sections to every chicken wing: the tip, the flat, and the drumette. The tip, which is the pointy part, is mostly skin and cartilage, and it may or may not be removed from the rest of the wing before you buy it. Then we have the drumette and the flat. Now the drumette, no surprise, looks like a mini drumstick. It's really cute, sounds like the name of a Motown group, and is easy to eat because it's the largest section of the wing. It has a convenient handle and the highest ratio of meat to bone. The flat sits between the tip and the drumette. It's thinner and longer with 2 narrow parallel bones, and that can make it slightly more complicated to eat. But in my opinion, the flat is the MVP of a wing because it has a really high ratio of skin to meat. And skin is a big part of what makes wings so delicious. Everyone knows golden brown, well-rendered, super savory chicken skin is glorious stuff. It's the bacon of the poultry world. Chicken skin makes up about 22% of a wing's weight. That's roughly twice the amount found on thighs and drumsticks. That chicken skin is packed with collagen, a triple helix protein that looks like this. It's tough stuff, and it makes chicken skin pretty resilient when it's raw. But when it's heated for long enough, collagen unwinds into gelatin, a water-soluble protein that provides tenderness and moisture-holding capacity, aka juiciness. This is what makes wings such a great, albeit pricier choice for stocks. Take this recipe for quick stock. The wings, along with chicken backs, give up so much collagen that we can make the richest, fullest bodied stock in under an hour. If you chill the stock, you can see just how much gelatin it really has. By the way, this recipe plus thousands more obsessively tested recipes are all available in our 5-star America's Test Kitchen app. It's literally the easiest way to cook all of our recipes. Okay, back to actually eating wings. There are 2 key reasons that wings pulled from a whole roasted spatchcock bird are super bronzed and savory. First, the heft of the bird pins them against the hot pan, which helps render their fat and brown their skin. Second, drippings from the bird bathe the wings in umami-rich juices as they roast, and that deepens their flavor. This leads me to that cool roasting method I mentioned earlier. To replace the weight of the bird, I'm going to roast them between 2 rimmed baking sheets. It's a wing sandwich. First, let's cut the wings at the joints like this to separate the drumettes, flats, and tips. Now let's toss the pieces with salt, pepper, and oil. I'm not using much oil here because wings have plenty of fat. I'm only using about a tablespoon to help encourage browning and help the seasoning stick. I place the larger, meatier drumettes around the perimeter where the metal gets hotter in the oven, and the thinner flats go in the middle. Then I fill in any gaps on the sheet with wing tips. The tips are mostly there to render juices and contribute fat and flavor to the pan drippings, but they can also be a nice crunchy chef snack. Okay, now I'm gonna press a second sheet of parchment and a second pan on top. That way, the top and bottom of each piece is in close contact with hot metal, so the fat renders and the skin browns really well. Okay, let's slide this whole bad boy into a 400-degree oven with the rack on the lowest position, closest to the heat source. That will help the pan get really hot and help sear those wings. I'm gonna roast them for about 45 minutes, which might sound like a long time for wings. After all, you can fry them in about, 10 to 12 minutes? But here's the thing, there's gonna be tons of collagen to gelatin conversion during this long roasting time. That means maximum juiciness. And don't forget, 45 minutes is about a minimum time you roast a whole chicken, and that's what we're trying to replicate. Okay, after 45 minutes, I keep the baking sheets sandwiched and pour off all of the gelatin-rich, savory juices that the wings exuded during roasting. Just look at that. That's absolute pure gold. And now I'm pouring the liquid into a fat separator, which makes the job of isolating the juices from the fat super, super easy. Check it out. If you don't have one of these, you can spoon it off old school style. And if you want one of these bad boys, there's a link below to pick one up. Now let's remove that top layer of parchment and baking sheet. At this point, you can discard the wingtips or keep them as a snack. I wanna use these insanely tasty drippings as a glaze to put back on the wings. So I'm just gonna simmer them in a pot until nice and syrupy. Reductions like this are amazing, but they're a bit of a win-lose scenario. Here's what I'm talking about. Cooking the liquid drives off volatile, flavorful aroma compounds. That's why sauces smell so good when you're cooking. It's up in the air. But the perk is that you're also driving off water, which concentrates really valuable, stable compounds, like gelatin, savory glutamates, and salt that make the reduction potent and impactful. While I've got the drippings bubbling away on the stove, I'm gonna pop the wings back in the oven on the upper rack and blast them with the broiler until they're golden brown. This mimics the intense browning we see on a whole bird in the last 15 minutes or so of roasting. Okay, look at them now. Are these not stunning? Now for that glaze. This couldn't be simpler. I simply brushed the syrupy reduction right onto the wings. These are so glossy and savory. The finger-licking potential here is so high. Okay, let's take a look at our work. Glossy, golden brown skin, and an entire platter of the very best part of the bird. Instead of a 4-pound whole bird, I have 4 pounds of wings. I'm rich. I guess I didn't have to learn poultry breeding after all. Okay, so if you missed any details on how to make these wings, fear not, you can get the full recipe in the America's Test Kitchen app or at the link below this video. Okay, it is time to dig in. I'm gonna start with a flat, my favorite.
That is so good.
What's so incredible about these wings is that they're really just chicken. No fried coating, no sauce, a little bit of salt and pepper. And that's why these are, without a doubt, how to eat chicken wings.